Shalom, I praise Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Rakadash, the abundance of the apostles, salute you, brothers, teaching the word in sincerity and in truth. This video here, and I'm going to read the scripture. I'll probably read it after. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Now, I'm going to do another video, Lord willing, on this. I'll go into it a bit deeper, but you got these, what we call alpha cities. You call them alpha cities here. It says ultra low emission ULEZ zones. They got all this ULEZ stuff now, as you can see. Now what they've done, and these are basically your New World Order cities, man. So it says ULEZ expansion. Drivers face £12.50 charge to drive anywhere. I've highlighted that in London after Sadiq Khan announces new zones. So, you got this. Well, let's read some of it. It says the ultra low emission zones. That's what the ULEZ stands for. Extension means that road users failing to meet emission standards are charged a daily fee, and drivers are furious. Now they got a map here, right? So the current ULEZ zones in the central Londons, and they got control ULEZ zones in inner London, right? So you got, so you pretty much got to live on the outskirts to be outside of this stuff, outside of London, to be in it, to get away from this stuff here. But now they're saying the proposed ULEZ zone, just to be in the Alpha City, they're gonna charge you for a certain car, ultra low emission zones. So you get, so that's why what's happening is, if your car ain't if you ain't got the newer cars, pretty much your car's not fit to be in the. And this is going into your smart grid. All these new cars, your electric cars, and they said that I did this video on it by 2025 on the news, on the national news. We're talking about BBC News, right? They said that all cars are going to be electric by 2025. They said that. That's what they're on. Now, you might Google that and might not find nothing, but that's why you got to catch them when they're saying it, because they're telling you what they're on. Now, if you Google that, it might say by 2030, by 2035. But I did the video and it showed on the national news. It said by 2025. They're not thinking about that far. And this links up with your smart cities, your smart grid. For anybody that, brothers that know about this stuff, it all lines up. So that and they're using the climate change, the global, the climate change and stuff like that to usher in their new world order, electric system, with people being with the digital yule in them. It all links up. So you'll be charged £12.50 a day just to drive your car in the unclean frog, which is the city of London, which is so. And this is part of the smart grid cities that they're setting up, the smart cities that they're setting up. Now you're gonna have smart cities and you're gonna have bandit lands. They show you that in these films where there's people, they got the smart cities, and then you got off gridders, and you're gonna have the New World Order troops trying to kill. This is just the prophecies and certain stuff, but we all know how it ends. It ends with this place getting destroyed, because he's not actually gonna get the New World Order. When he says he thinks, oh, we got this, with all the chaos happening, he's gonna be destroyed. So we know that. Older vehicles, including motorbikes that don't meet the tighter emission standards, will be hit with a £12.50 charge each day they are used in ULEZ. Khan said challenges of pollution, climate emergency and congestion mean we need to further reduce emissions from vehicles in London. The ULEZ was levied on petrol and diesel vehicles entering London's north and south circular roads in October 21. But now it will be extended to all of the capital's boroughs. The ULEZ operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 364 days a year, excluding Christmas Day. So there you go, your smart cities, your smart grids, and that's just part of it. You know, ushering out all these old cars and getting everything, your electric cars in, and you know, everything's electric, and that's part. And there's a whole thing with that. I might do another video on it where you know, they're ushering in the new grid. So they got to get rid of the old grid, and the new grid's going to be controlled drones, electric cars. You know, all the controlled grids that they're pushing. You can watch videos on that. For diesels to avoid the charge, they must have been registered after September 2015. So if you got a diesel, it has to be a 2015 plate. Most petrol models registered from 2005 are also exempt. So you can't own an old car, a standard vehicle, and drive around the town. Failure to pay will result in a fine of £160 for cars, vans, and motorbikes. This is reduced to £80 if paid within 14 days. That is in addition to any congestion charges that apply. Transport for London is erecting hundreds of signs warning motorists they'll be entering the ULEZ. So this is the grid's getting tighter, man. And at the bottom they're saying NO2 damages lungs and can exacerbate. So they're pushing their thing. Check this, cameras. So the cameras, the leopard shall watch over their cities, right? It says cameras will read number plates and check if the vehicle meets the ULEZ standards. So the grid, and you know, when you read the scriptures, it says it causes all, great and small, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. So he's gridding everybody off, getting everybody. Everybody's going to be faced with that decision about taking that thing that we know what we're talking about. It says there are currently 1,000 congestion charge cameras, but there will be 18 times that number. So they're telling you what they're doing, and they you know, they got them talking about pollution and all that, and it's leading to deaths. And you know, you really believe in these fucking devils. You're gonna really believe that they got your best interest. It's rubbish. So let me read this scripture and close this one out. 2 Corinthians 2:11. At least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Okay, so we know what all this is about, and that's what it is. So you know, they're tightening up these grids. You know, that's why the scriptures talks about pilgrims on the earth, man, because you know, you don't know how the Spirit's gonna will it out here. It's to be on these grids. You know, you're gonna have to have them fingers in you, you know. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.